By the spring of 1940, Germany had virtually crushed every country on the continent. Now all that stood between them and the rest of the world was a handful of young British pilots in a handful of untried airplanes. In the short span of just a few months, Europe had been crushed in the steel fist of Germany. A stunned world watched as nation after nation was bombarded into submission.
What's left of your army abandoned its weapons at Dunkirk. You're defenseless and just playing for time. We can walk into Britain whenever we like.
Don't threaten or dictate to us until you're marching up Whitehall.
2 sections, stand by! Don't just stand there and get one up!
The Battle of France was over. The Battle of Britain was about to begin. The German air machine, proud and defiant, prepared for its invasion of England. The battle would be fought in the sky, with the mightiest air force in history against a handful of courageous young men and a handful of Spitfires.
The essential arithmetic is that our young men will have to shoot down their young men at the rate of 4 to 1.
Never fly straight and level for more than 30 seconds in the combat area.
They must learn to get up from standby in 2 minutes flat if they're to intercept the enemy.
How many hours on Spitz?
10, sir. 7, sir. Stick to me like glue.
This is only the beginning. They won't stop now.
Spitfires, Heinkels, Stukas, Messerschmitts, the actual machines of war that fought in the most monumental air battle of all time. The Battle of Britain.
Bandits now below you. Roger, Tango, I've got them. Take the left-hand pair. Roger. On your tail, Jamie. I see him. Going up now. I'm gone. Fighters coming down now. Swarms of that sort. Behind you, Andy. On your tail. Get out, Andy. Down. Behind you. Behind!
talking about total war. There's nobody else helping us. All the continents have fallen down, and it was us against this monster. The Spitfire was built as an interceptor fighter.
These aeroplanes represent to the British people an unwillingness to be bullied.
The country couldn't possibly have too many of these fighters.
It was a design which was brilliant. You can't fly a Spitfire and forget about it. It stays with you forever.
Enemy aircraft were falling like confetti. We were cock a hoop.
You had to be very careful in landing. She was a lady in the air, but a bitch on the ground.
I looked up, and the air was filled with Germans. Had they landed, they'd have won, and the course of world history would have been changed.
We've got to always remember those who didn't come back.
This aeroplane stands for so much. Grace and gallantry. She is a symbol of freedom.
The Royal Air Force is keeping Britain's feet dry.
Yes, but for how long? Unless we use the 8,000 Polish airmen we have at our disposal.
When will all these training exercises stop so that we can get into the real action?
You're not ready.
What am I supposed to tell my pilots who don't know if their families are alive or dead?
Then what happens to the Poles? They all die. And you don't care.
Buys time until the Americans enter the war.
Here is the only piece, the last piece of our free Poland. We are here! We are Polish army! And we will continue our fight as long as we draw breath. Give those bloody Germans hell! Is that clear? Yes, sir!
And they are really doing it.
You can call me Johnny.
You can go now.
You saved my life. You are the bloody best pilot we've got.
Squadron 303! Yeah! You will not find better pilots on this earth, sir.
You don't have to fight anymore.
But I want to fight. May I ask you to dance with me?
I would love to dance with you. You can't survive this war.
This is my life, and I don't want to abandon my brothers. I have to fight.
Rise like fire.